everybody, welcome back to Houseplant Dictionary. I did a salsa garden not that long ago. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description below. But I believe I mentioned that I also wanted to do an herb garden. And my herbs came in the mail, so today we are going to make an herb garden. I've made herb gardens before, and when I say herb garden, I don't mean like something fun to look at or super creative. I'm literally just gonna fill up a bunch of these guys with dirt and stick some seeds in them. But I've done this before with herbs, and you'll have to go over to the salsa garden video to hear the story of what happened to my herbs. But I'm so excited to do another one, and I've got my pack of seeds. There's 12 different seeds in here, and I ripped the top off, so I don't know what brand it is. I'll link it in the description below if you're interested. So we've got 12 different seeds to do, and what I'm going to do is, because the containers that I'm putting them in are so little, I'm going to do a couple per herb, maybe 2 or 3, we'll see. I've got a ton more of these over in my storage. Oh yeah, I should mention, new background, so the dining table that I was filming on before is gone. We sold it, and the island doesn't come in until tomorrow, but I don't want to wait because I don't want the seeds to go bad or anything like that. So I'm just filming at my desk right now. Usually there's like a laptop here, and you can't really see it, but you're propped up on my boyfriend's computer on the other desk, and then I've just got like pens and stuff everywhere. I don't usually plant right here, but today we're planting right here, so you get to see my lovely, background. This is where I do all of my work, and today this is where we plant. So I've got a container of dirt, and then as you can see right here, that's my bag of dirt. That's actually where I store my bag of dirt. So I've got more dirt nearby if we run out of dirt, and then like I said, I've got more of these over there if I run out. And I tried to prop up my things so that you could see them, but I ran out of things to prop it up on, so I'll just have to lift it up and show you. And also the lighting's gonna be kind of weird because I've got a massive window right here, but like no light over here. Maybe this will help. Does that help? Yeah, that's a little better. It blinds me a little bit, but it'll do. So I do have cilantro and basil with the salsa garden, and I'm pretty sure this package comes with both of those. We're gonna do a couple more plants of those anyways. The first one we're gonna do is Italian oregano. So this herb produces strong scented flavored leaves for culinary dishes. And it blooms like floral. It has floral blooms. That's cool. When I did my herb garden before, they weren't mature enough to use in cooking or to bloom or anything like that when they unfortunately died. And I've got my kitchen spoon here, but I'm probably just gonna scoop because these things are so small anyways. I'll have all of the things that I use in this video linked in the description below, including these little orange containers, my dirt, the seeds, fertilizers I use, etc. So I'm going to plant, I think, 2 plants per container because they won't stay in these little ones forever. This one just makes it so I don't accidentally overwater them as easily. Helps them to mature without me ruining it. But basically, like I said in the previous video, I fill the container with dirt, I stick my finger in it to create 2 holes. And if you don't want to use your finger, you can use like a chopstick or a pencil or a pen or something like that. And then you put a couple seeds in. I put more than you're supposed to because I feel like it changes my odds that the plants are gonna grow. But then inevitably they become overcrowded and I have to separate them. You can just do 1 or 2 seeds if you prefer not to overcrowd your plants like I do. But then you just cover it back up with dirt. And then when I'm done with all of these, I'm going to take them into the sink or the tub, and I'm going to water them all. thoroughly, and like I mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to use a squirt gun instead of like pouring water over them, because I don't have like a small watering can, or I don't even have a watering can. I use an old broken Brita filter to water my plants, or like glass soda bottles or beer bottles or whatever. But I'll just squirt them with water until the soil is nice and moist, not only at the top, but further in, past where the seeds are. And I'll repeat that as often as the dirt dries until I believe that it's rooted or the plant begins to grow up past the dirt and is strong enough for me to pour water over it gently, because I don't want to splash the dirt everywhere and I don't want to harm the newly rooted plant, the baby plant. But that's pretty much how I roll with my herb garden, and I've been successful every time. And now I've got a growing, it's still small, I've been able to wait it off, but I've got a growing gnat problem. And this is not new. Gnats are not new to me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some hydrogen peroxide to the water, which will kill any eggs, and not just for the first watering, but for all the sequential waterings until my gnat problem's gone. And I'm taking care of the adults in various ways. As you can see back here, I've got, the yellow strips, and then I've got a solution, and I'm not going to remember what's in it right now, but it's like bleach-free soap, I want to say lemon, and then just water, and I can't remember the parts. Harley G is who I got my solution from, and I just spray kind of around where I've seen a gnat or two, and that's supposed to kill the adults on contact, and then I'm, watering with the hydrogen peroxide to kill the eggs, and that usually works for me, so I just stick with that. The next seed is rosemary. Ooh, I love adding rosemary to my cocktails. Not only is it pretty in the drinks, it smells good while you're drinking the drinks, and then it tastes good in the drinks. So I'm pumped for rosemary. Never eaten rosemary, I don't think, but I know you can add it to like a chicken crusting, like if you're gonna do like a breaded chicken or something like that, and that's pretty good. I don't know about other meats or non-meat meals, I'm not sure, but I've heard about it on chicken. Honestly, I just like herbs because I like growing plants from seeds. And I don't do most of the cooking over here. My boyfriend does most of the cooking. There are certain things that I'll do, or like I'll help him or whatever, but he enjoys cooking more than I do, and he's better at winging it than I am. I do not wing when I cook. I follow a recipe, or because I'm so picky, I just eat like really basic stuff. And that gets kind of boring if I'm the only one cooking, or if I'm doing most of the cooking for him, because he's a little bit more of a foodie. So he does most of the cooking. Like I said, I'm doing a couple seeds per hole, 2 holes per container, and 2 containers per herb. Hopefully you can hear me. The AC is kicked on, and the vent's right up there, blowing directly on me and making me freezing. Let me know in the comments below if any of you are like me and you're always cold. I am always cold. When Nick goes off to work, I crank the heat up. Well, I don't crank the heat up. I turn the AC down and get it to like anywhere from 76 to 78 in here, and that's like perfect for me, because right now I'm cold and I'm gonna put my sweater on because I have not turned the AC down yet. I didn't think about it. And this soil mix is the same soil mix that I used in my salsa garden. And I haven't posted any updates on my salsa garden yet, but some of the plants are starting to sprout, and it's really exciting. You'll have to go over to Instagram to see it. I plan on posting some updates fairly soon. Next is summer savory. Now, I have no idea what summer savory is, but I grew it in my last garden. Let's see if the description. It looks like it's just a seasoning, used to season meats and vegetables. And it's got light pink lilac blooms. That's really pretty. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but we're gonna grow it and then maybe we'll eat it. Don't know. If any of you use summer savory in your cooking, let me know. I'd love some recipes. That'd be phenomenal. I don't do a lot of cooking when I'm home in the evenings by myself. Usually I'll either eat leftovers or order food or not eat, which is not good. But I run 2 businesses, run the website to my boyfriend's business, and I'm a full-time graduate student on top of having 200 plants in my apartment to take care of. So I kind of fail to prioritize eating sometimes. I'll like snack. So if we've got snacky foods, I'll have some of those, but I'm really bad about it, and I need to be better about eating. At one point I was doing meal subscriptions, and that helped quite a bit, but I haven't signed up for any of those as of late. Let me know if you have a favorite, one that I should try. So next is broad-leaved sage. I love sage. Even just looking at the leaves, I love just to look at them. I think they're very pretty plants. And the texture of the leaves is just really like fuzzy, but not, I don't know. I'm a fan. It's in a staple dressing around Thanksgiving time. I don't eat dressings really, so I don't know. These are the biggest seeds yet. Usually when I go about labeling my plants, I label them with these things, which I keep in my desk because this is where I work. But this is my last one, so I guess these guys don't get to be labeled until my next shipment from Amazon comes in. And I haven't ordered it yet, so it's gonna be a couple days where these guys go unlabeled. I sure hope I don't lose them. Let me know what your favorite herb is in the comments. Or maybe what your least favorite is. That's an interesting conversation. Everybody knows what their favorite is. Well, maybe not everybody, but most people know what their favorite is. Love to hear your least favorite. These sage seeds just rolled on and I definitely overcrowded this one. My bad. We'll separate them when they get bigger. It'll be okay. Hopefully you guys can see everything all right. The like holder my phone is on, because I record on my phone, isn't the most stable. Next is thyme, German thyme. I don't know if that makes a difference, but thyme's really good. I like thyme. And apparently it attracts butterflies. The more you know. I don't have to know what to say in some of these videos, because like I don't have crazy stories. I don't really go out because I'm so busy. And I don't know, I don't really have a ton going on. Nothing to tell you about. Tuesday we're getting a cat. That's something to tell you about. I really hope, well, hopefully we're getting a cat. She's living outside. She's feral, but she's a kitten, and she's got cerebellar hypoplasia, I think is what it's called. So she's real wobbly. And so assuming she survives till Tuesday where she's currently at, we're going to get a cat on Tuesday. So I'm excited for that. We haven't, my boyfriend really loves cats. So it was really just a matter of time. But I don't know anything really about cats. I'm a dog person. Let me know in the comments if you're a dog person or a cat person. We're going to start some discussions down there. But I'm a dog person, except dogs are expensive and they take up a lot of space, and we live in an apartment. So it's not really realistic right now to have a dog, especially because I love big dogs, like 60 plus pounds. So we're getting a cat. We're rescuing a cat. And I'm so excited because I like furry things. I've got a bearded dragon and I've got a crested gecko, but they don't really love to snuggle me all that much. My beardy will like chill on me for a few minutes and then he gets bored and he like starts running around like a crazy man. Marjoram. I doubt I'm pronouncing that right. I've never heard of this one. I looked through all the seeds before I started this video just to kind of see what we were working with. And never heard of this one. It was not in the last pack of herbs I grew. So I don't really know what to do with it. It adds sweet and spicy flavors to food, according to the seed packet. Yeah, some of those seeds didn't even go in the hole. Oh well. Each one of these packets comes with at least 100 seeds. Most of them, it looks like, come with 500. So that's a lot of seeds. And I'm definitely dropping more than 2 per hole, even though 2 is my goal. I'm not trying very hard, I guess, or paying attention. Let me know if you guys have any pets. I love animals, so I'd love if you could share me photos of your pets on Instagram. That'd be great. I'm sure they're adorable. What are some of the weird things your pets do? Yesterday, my bearded dragon, I believe it was yesterday, his name's Fella. And if I didn't think I would never get my phone back up on the spot, I'd twist you around to see him. He's chilling right now. Over to my left, might be your right, over there. And yesterday, he was like going crazy, scratching at the wall and like trying to climb up it. And I had no idea. I thought maybe he was just bored, because sometimes he gets bored and he runs around, or sometimes when he has to poop, he runs around. But this was like really extreme. And I have a little windowsill over here. I have a spot with a towel, and I like to sit him in it so he can look out the window, and he really likes that. So I thought, and he responds to my voice. Not that he understands it, but he responds to it. He knows it. And so he'll, pay attention to me when I'm talking to him. So I asked him if he wanted to sit in the window, and he calmed down. And so I thought, maybe he knows what window means. I don't know. Maybe me just talking to him, whatever. So I went to get him out, and he scratches me whenever I pull him out because he doesn't like being lifted. So I wrap a washcloth under him to secure him when I pick him up. And he just went crazy. So obviously I just let him back in the tank. I wasn't going to force him to come sit in the window. Next is Basil. We've already got Basil, but we're going to grow one more container of it. But I let him go back into the tank and just figure, whatever. I don't know what's wrong with him. But he went behind his rock And his rock's not like super huge. He can't actually hide behind it, but he like went behind his rock and cowered. And he's never done that before. So I don't know what his problem was. I just let him be. I gave him some live worms. He didn't want them at that moment, but I put them in his dish. And he just cowered for a while, and then a couple minutes later, he, you know, peeked back out from behind his rock, and he just went ballistic at the wall again. And I don't know what he's not into in there, because nothing has changed. He had been fed. He was doing perfectly fine. He was just having a problem. I think maybe he's getting ready to shed. So maybe he's itchy. If any of you guys have bearded dragons and you know what his problem is, let me know. He was fine after maybe probably less than an hour, honestly. It wasn't super long before he chilled out. But that was just the weirdest thing. He never goes crazy like that unless he has to poop or he's bored. And usually, like, giving him live bugs or putting him in the window, like, chill him out. Next is chives. My chives were the last to be killed off of my herbs previously. They lasted a really long time. I believe they were onion chives. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember, though. These are common chives. I don't think I have onion chives. No onion chives. Which is fine. I don't know what the difference is. And I've got onion plants in my salsa garden, so it doesn't really matter. And I don't know if you noticed, but I only planted one of the basil because I've already got a sweet basil plant, and I don't need 3. I really don't need 2, but I'm not going to let these seeds go to waste. I couldn't. Granted, I'm not using all of them at all, but I'm definitely using more than I would have if I was only planting 1. Another kind of funny pet story. So my crested gecko, she's not very socialized, so I don't take her out or really mess with her too much. I'll talk to her. She's nocturnal, so she sleeps during the day, and I sleep while she's up. So we'll hear her jumping around or whatever. But she sleeps in the weirdest places. So she can climb walls and she can climb on the top of her tank. So I usually have things in the corners to weigh it down because I'm terrified she's going to like lift up the lid and get out or something. And she's so fast. So fast. So there's no way I would ever catch her if she got out. But this morning, I think it was this morning, I walked past, her tank's in the entryway hallway. So you see her tank when you come right in the apartment. I'll give you guys an apartment houseplant tour once it's less of a mess. And once I have my my island, which is essentially our dining table. Next is cilantro. I'll give you a tour then, but anyway, she's out there and I walked past and she is up on the side of the wall, on her side, just like so that her stomach, I can see her stomach. It's just the weirdest thing. She's just up on the wall sleeping, and she doesn't have eyelids, I don't think. Either that or she sleeps with her eyes open, I can't remember. But either way, she's got her eyes open while she's sleeping. And so you look at her, and it looks like she's awake and like fully aware of what she's doing. But she's not. She's sleeping. She'd look at me funny if she was awake. Or at least she usually does. And it just blows my mind the different positions she can sleep in. Usually she sleeps under one of her logs or under the foliage. She's got a lot of foliage in there because she doesn't like people too much. So I give her plenty of hiding places, especially for like if I've got a ton of people over or something. She's not interested in being bothered. But she sometimes, every once in a while, she just decides that it'd be fun to just like sleep on the walls or poop in her dish. I mean, both of them poop in their dishes. That's just a lizard thing. That's just a pet thing because I'm pretty sure I've had dogs in the past that have pooped in their dishes too. Yeah, just weird pet behavior. Give me your weird pet behavior stories in the comments. I love pets and their weird stories. My Reddit feed is literally just houseplants and dogs and cats and miscellaneous other animals occasionally, but that's just like all my Reddit is. That's all I really care about on there. Next is dill. When I was little, my mom used to make pickles, so I really like the smell of dill. It's nostalgic for me. Maybe once my dill grows up, I'll make pickles. I love pickles. Pickles are like my go-to midnight snack, but only dill. I really don't care for sweet or any other type of pickle. I really only like dill pickles. I'll like tolerate a sweet pickle, but I don't understand why I would just tolerate food. That's not a meal, so it's not like that's keeping me alive. I can go without a pickle. So I just don't really care to eat foods I don't like. There's no point. But I'm one of those strange people who aren't foodies. There are foods I love and enjoy, but if I don't, if I never had to eat again, I'd probably still eat sometimes, but it sure wouldn't be as frequent as it is now. I probably would eat like once every couple of days if I was having a craving for something. And I realize that's not a popular opinion. Most people love food. I'm just so picky, and I get bored of food really quick. And I just don't care. Italian flat leaf parsley. I don't know how that differs from just like parsley, but I like the smell of parsley. It's not like a super duper strong scent, I don't, in my opinion, but I like it. I've only got one left after this. And I've only got one plant's worth of containers left. I swear I didn't count them, but literally the perfect amount. That's phenomenal. I actually thought I had grabbed too many, quite frankly. But I would rather have too many than too little, and it turns out I've got the perfect amount. Oh, I'm so excited for these. I just like suddenly got really excited. I love growing herbs and growing things from seeds and like bulbs, and I'm not that great with bulbs, but I've done it successfully. This little elephant pot right here, there's some caladiums in there. Those grew from a bulb, not on purpose even. I had a bunch of caladium bulbs, and one of them sprouted up a caladium, which immediately died without warning. So I just, after a couple months of like waiting for them to grow and them not growing and then having one die immediately, I was pretty much just like done trying with those bulbs, and I threw all of the dirt back into like a pot or something to reuse for something else. And I must have reused the dirt to pot one of my palms. I think it was this palm in the corner. And after we moved here, I had the plant sitting amongst all the other plants, and I looked in it, and these two guys were in there growing amongst the palm. And I knew that like that didn't come from the store. And if it did, I guess I'm super duper lucky. But it's just a green one, and I'm assuming it's a caladium because that's like the only thing that could have grown in my dirt, as far as I know. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And so hopefully I can keep this caladium alive. We've been here for, what, like 2 months now? Almost 2 months now. So they've survived that long. Oh, there's a root in there. They've survived that long. So I'm hoping it'll survive long enough to become like an established plant, because once it's established, it's a lot easier to take care of. But I moved it into its own pot away from the palm. It was 2 leaves, then a third one started coming up and the first leaf died off. And I panicked thinking I was killing it. And I don't know, maybe I was, but these 2 leaves, they're a little droopy, but I think they just need to be watered. Otherwise, they've been doing good. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood to knock on. I'll pretend to knock on my shelves up here, because they're wood. Ta-da! That is... and I don't know if I told you, this last one was blue borage. I've never heard of it. Not a clue what it is. Let me know in the comments what you use borage for. But, yeah, those are my herbs. That's my herb garden. I'll give you an overview. We've got oregano, rosemary, summer savory, sage, thyme, marjoram, basil, chives, cilantro, dill, parsley, and borage. Or borage. Whatever. You can let me know how to pronounce it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching me plant my seeds. I don't know if it was boring for you. I didn't mind telling stories. I love to hear your stories, actually. That'd be fun for me. So comment with your stories down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of my content. And ring the bell if you actually want to know when my content is up. You'll get notifications if you do that. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video, which is hopefully an apartment plant tour. Yeah, I'll see you then. Thank you so much.